Dear students, welcome back. As you know, we were continuing chapter. Some of the facts I have just written here. Okay, we were continuing chapter number 3, metals and non-metals. Already 7 lectures has been done in that particular chapter, and today lecture number 8. In all 7 lectures which you attended, you have understood regarding physical and chemical properties of metals in detail. And then we started our discussion on extraction of metal, which is a must for any metallurgy industries which is involved in the manufacturing of metal articles of daily use. Understood? At that time, when we started the topic extraction of metal, I gave you an idea how many stages are involved in metallurgy. That idea I had already given you. If you just sum up few stages of metallurgy industry, means few stages which are necessary in extraction of metal. So if we can list out in metallurgy industry, first that I told you, excavating the ore, means you have to find rich source where ores of particular metals are available. That is to be excavated and dug from the earth. The ore which is dug is taken to the site of production where ore needs to be pulverized. Pulverizing ore, that means to just convert it into powdered form, that is particle form. Okay. After pulverizing the ore, if you can remember the third stage, that is, if I write title here, enrichment of ore. This is very important for you to understand. Enrichment of ore, that means to remove maximum possible gangue impurities from ore. Ore needs to be concentrated by removal of all impurities present in the ore. Understand? After a stage of enrichment of ore, the next stage, if you can remember, that is the stage of after enrichment of ore. If you can understand, we have discussed yesterday, I can say like this, reduction, not extraction, reduction of metal from its ore. Understand? But before you can reduce metal from its ore, it depends on the reactivity of metal. If the metal are less reactive, they can be directly obtained, understand, from their ore by simply heating. But if metals are medium reactive. They need to be converted into oxide. I am just taking the summary. Understand? Because we are continuing the same topic, that's why. The ore needs to be converted into for a medium reactive metal. It needs to be converted into oxide ore. We discussed about two methods if you can remember. The first one, that was roasting, the process of conversion of sulfide ore into oxide ore. Then we discussed, if you can remember, calcination, the process of converting carbonate ore into oxide ore. Understand? And then came the next stage, that is reduction of metal from oxide ore. At that time, to reduce the metal from oxide ore, you need particular reducing agent. Understand? One of the metallic reduction we have seen where we utilize coke as reducing agent, but in case metal has more affinity to oxygen than coke, like manganese oxide, iron oxide, they cannot be reduced with the help of coke, but they can be reduced by some other metal to be utilized as a reducing agent, which needs to be more reactive than the metal which is to be reduced. That we discussed yesterday. Understand? We are continuing the same topic, reduction of metal from its ore. In that, we studied about two. First, reduction of metal from, or a reduction of less reactive metal from its ore. Then, reduction of medium reactive metal from its ore. Today, we are continuing the same topic, but we are discussing reduction of, previous lecture, if you can remember, we were giving number reduction of less reactive metal A, reduction of medium reactive metal B. Same topic continues today, and the title is reduction of highly reactive metal. Understand? The word itself gives you an idea that we are going to understand reduction of highly reactive metal. In the category of highly reactive metal, which metal falls? Sodium, potassium, magnesium, etc. This highly reactive metal cannot be reduced with the help of coke as reducing agent, not possible, because sodium, magnesium, even aluminum also I can say, these metals, sodium, potassium, magnesium, aluminum, etc., have high affinity for oxygen than carbon. Because they have high affinity to oxygen than carbon, how can they get reduced with the help of carbon, so that is not possible. So such highly reactive metal cannot be reduced by any of the method we discussed so far in case of less reactive and medium reactive metals. Then how can we get such metals which are highly reactive? So any metal which is highly reactive can be obtained by one particular method which we can call electrolysis method. All highly reactive metals can be obtained by only one process, that is electrolysis. You can speak it as electrolysis also, or you can say it electrochemical reduction. This word is also can be utilized. Electrochemical reduction. This word is also explaining the same thing. Electrolysis is a word not new for you because you all know about electrolysis of water, if you can remember. When electric current is passed through water, water dissociate into H plus and O minus ion. Both the ions which are produced, cation hydrogen and anion oxygen, they will travel to opposite electrodes. Understand? And they both are obtained by decomposition of water. So some such type of reaction is going to occur. Let us just say reaction of, let us just try to understand, at least we will take any one reduction or electrolytic reduction, electrochemical reduction of any one highly reactive metal. Let us target sodium. You all know that sodium is available in nature. In one of the compound you all know, that is sodium chloride. Maximum sodium is available in sodium chloride. So by electrolytic reduction of sodium chloride, we are able to get sodium. Understand? You all know sodium chloride is an ionic compound. Normally does not conduct electricity, but either in aqueous solution, as we discussed in somewhere in our lectures, either in aqueous solution or in molten state, it is able to conduct electricity. Okay, let us try to understand how sodium can be obtained by electrolytic reduction. Okay, let us take. See, suppose let us try to understand electrochemical or electrolytic reduction of sodium from sodium chloride. Understand, first you take any vessel is taken, okay, one vessel is taken, right. Okay. In this vessel, it can be any glass vessel, okay. In this vessel you have to take sodium chloride either in aqueous solution or in molten state. Suppose I show, then you will show it just now, then you have to show how will you pass electric current through this. So for that purpose you all know that we have to place two electrodes. Understand, two electrodes. Right? Two electrodes are kept in this electrolytic solution. Okay. And then it is connected with external source of electric supply, right? Means suppose I show here positive, negative, this is the battery connection we are showing, and this is switch to start the reaction, okay. This is positive, negative, so obviously this becomes anode and this becomes cathode, okay. And here in the vessel we have to take sodium chloride in molten state, okay, either in molten state or in aqueous solution, sodium chloride, okay. Either you write in molten state or you write in aqueous solution, because then and then it has free ions for the conduction of electric current, okay. Now what happens? This is anode and this is cathode. The moment either you melt sodium chloride or you make its aqueous solution, actually what happens? Its ionization take place and two types of ions are produced. One is Na plus and another is Cl minus. You all know that. This association of NaCl into ion will produce Na plus and Cl minus ion, that you all know. Both the ions which are produced when electric current is passed through the solution, obviously both the ion will start traveling towards oppositely charged electrode. So suppose I show ions, suppose I am just showing one ion, Na plus, and suppose Cl minus. So sodium ion will definitely start traveling towards cathode, and chlorine ion will reach at anode. What happens at cathode and what happens at anode? Actually, when sodium ion reach to cathode, there it gets one electron and converts, understand, into sodium metal, okay. So here what happens at cathode? If we write at cathode, what type of reaction take place? Sodium ion, which is produced in the electrolytic solution, understand, will receive one electron and converts into sodium metal. So sodium metal is obtained at cathode. What happens to chlorine? Understand, the chlorine when reach to, I have wrote this equation on this side. Let us write equation at anode. What happens at anode actually? The chlorine ion will reach to anode, understand, at anode if we want to write, okay. What happens at anode? Chlorine ion reach to anode, gets 2 electron and converts into chlorine gas, actually 2 ions, okay. So this way chlorine gas is obtained, understand, at anode, and sodium is obtained at cathode. So this is the way how highly reactive metal can be reduced with the process of electrochemical reduction. The topic is clear in your mind. We have just taken an example of sodium chloride, and I showed you that sodium chloride to be taken here in completely molten state or in aqueous solution, then and then it is able to conduct electric current. After you pass electric current, this molten sodium chloride already possesses 2 types of ions. It possesses positive ion Na plus, understand, which we call cation, and negative chloride ion anion also. What happens the moment the process start? Sodium cation will reach to cathode, understand, where they convert into metal by acquiring 1 electron here. Chloride ion reach to anode, and at anode what happens? Chloride ion receives 2 electron and converts into chlorine gas. So this is the way metal can be obtained by electrolytic reduction. In our textbook, you have to study electrochemical reduction of only one metal, that is sodium. If you can find in some references somewhere, so, and in the old book it was a topic that was electrochemical reduction of aluminium from aluminium oxide. That is also one type of electrochemical reduction only, understood. So this is the way the 4th stage in metallurgy is over. That means reduction of metal from its ore. 5 stages of metallurgy are already over, and the next stage in metallurgy, that is, as you all know, metal is obtained from ore. Now the last stage in the metallurgy, that is refining of metal. Refining means we have to pure metal, understand, by removing whatever impurities are left in the metal. That is called refining of metals. because metals needs to be refined for its further application for manufacturing of articles. Understood? Right? So we have already listed out the stages in metallurgy. Let us write the fifth stage, that is refining of metals. Understand? See, as far as refining of metal is concerned, understand, there are various methods for the refining of metals. But as far as our textual content is concerned, we have to discuss only about one method of refining of metal, that is called electrolytic refining. Otherwise, there were other methods also. Understand, like liquefaction method, which is not a part of your textbook now. Understand, liquefaction method, that is for the refining of those metal having low melting point. Metals having low melting point can be refined, understand, by the method of liquefaction. There was another method also, that is zone refining method, known as Van Arkel method. But that method is actually utilized to get 100% pure metal, which is required only in atomic research. In daily practical life, we do not require 100% pure metal. Understand, we can tolerate some percentage of impurity may be there in the metal. So the method which we are discussing now, that is called electrolytic refining of metal. Understand? So next stage in metallurgy, I just make the title, that is refining of metals. Okay. This is last stage in metallurgy, that is refining of, okay, refining of metals for further application. Understand how metals can be refined. Understand? So here the method is, first let us take some general discussion and not particularizing any particular metals. Let us take our discussion as general. Suppose, general discussion, as far as refining of metal is concerned, we are first not discussing for any individual metal. We are discussing just for general discussion how any metal can be electrolytically refined. What does electrolytic refining means? Understand? So actually, if we just give general explanation what to do, understand, in one vessel we are discussing not for any particular metal, but we are discussing in general if you are asked in exam to explain electrolytic refining of metal, so in general how can you define? So this is electrolytic vessel, understood? In this vessel you have to keep two rods, okay? One, that actually two rods are kept for the purpose of generating electricity. One metal rod suppose, right? And another metal rod, we will specify just now. Two metal rods suppose. Understood? Actually now what happens, after you take two metal rods, okay, the first metal rod which you have taken, and this is second metal rod, the first metal rod which you have taken, understood, is actually impure metal rod. That's why I have shown little thicker. Impure metal. Rods of impure metal is taken, and this is pure metal rod. Understood? So somebody may start asking question in their mind that how pure metal can be obtained. So at least when we are saying that metals are available in compound form, but they are also available in free state. Understand? No doubt in lesser proportion. Okay, pure metal, impure metal. Impure metal, understand, forms anode when they are connected with external source of electric supply. It forms anode. Switch you saw or don't so it's all okay. Understand? And pure metal rod forms cathode. Okay, so this is negative electrode and this is positive electrode. To continue the process of electrochemical refining, what you should take as an electrolytic solution. So just mind it and understand, as an electrolytic solution, which word you will write? Metallic salt solution is taken. What is taken? Metallic salt solution is taken as electrolyte. Understand? This is the arrangement. Now what happens? The moment you pass electric current, electric circuit is already completed. The moment electric current is passed through this metallic salt solution, means the moment the circuit got completed, actually what happens, from the anode, from here what I am showing, just try to understand. Anode is made up of impure metal which is consisting metals with impurity, that you all know very well. This is a mixture of metal along with impurities. So when electric current is passed from impure metal rod, understand, two things release. from impure metal rod. What? One that is metallic iron, and another that is impurity, because this is impure metal rod. So from impure metal rod, understand two constituent releases. One that is metallic iron, another that is impurity. This metallic iron which are released, I am just showing iron by this sign for your understanding only. Understand, this iron which are released will travel in electrolytic solution, reach to cathode, where they get electron and converts into atom and deposits here. Understood? Then what happens to impurity which is released? So this impurity which are released from here, understand, will collect near anode. Understand, these are impurity which will collect near anode, which is also known as anodic mud. What is its name? Anodic mud. Can be asked in one line also. What is anodic mud? How can you define? So during electrochemical or electrolytic refining of metals, impure metal forms anode and pure metal forms cathode, and accordingly they are connected with the external source of electric supply. Now actually what happens? When electric current is passed through the solution, anode comes into action. From anode, which is actually impure metal, means metal consisting of impurity, the moment electric current is passed, what happens? Metallic iron and impurities separates from impure metal rod. Metallic ions which are separated will travel in electrolytic solution, reach to cathode, where they get electron and converts into atom and deposits at cathode. At the same time, impurities which is released from impure metal rod, these impurities will settle down near anode, means in the vicinity of bottom of anode, and that is why it is called anodic mud. This way we are able to get pure metal. Understood? By this electrochemical refining of metal, we are able to get 99.9899% pure metal, and that is sufficient for the application or utilization of metal in daily life or for the daily in manufacturing industries, because 100% pure metal is ultimately not required. And some mixing of some of the impurity that always occur, understand, you also know that we are even not utilizing 100% pure gold. You have studied in somewhere in previous standard 100% gold, which you can call 24 karat gold, we never utilize for articulating ornaments from it. Understand, actually we never utilize 24 karat gold. It is always 22 around karat gold. The two parts are of silver or copper, which is to be added to harden the gold. Understand, for making beautiful miniature designed, understand, ornaments from it. So there also you can understand one thing, that for the metal doesn't need to be 100% pure for application in daily life. You understood this, right? So this point has to be very clear in your mind, understood. If in exam you are asked, describe refining of metal, so your explanation has to be not for any particular metal, but your discussion, your answer has to present general electrochemical refining, electrolytic refining, where how will you speak? In one vessel, impure metal rod is taken as anode, pure metal rod is taken as cathode, metallic salt solution, salt word આવે, that means you know either metallic chloride, metallic carbonate, metallic sulfide, etc. So here metallic salt solution is taken as an electrolyte. When both impure and pure metal rod are connected with external source of electric supply, the chemical reaction occurs as follows. That way you can write. Then the first, from impure metal rod, metallic ion and impurities separate out. What? From impure metal rod, metallic ions and impurities, means other metal impurity, separates. Metallic ion which are separated will travel in electrolytic solution, reaches to cathode, where they get their deficit electron and converts into atom, and in metal form it collects on cathode. Impurities which are separated during this process, these impurities will settle near anode. This impurity which settle near anode are known as anodic mud. So actually what you will observe when the chemical reaction really start, so as the process proceeds further, as the reaction continue, what you will see? Impure metal rod becomes thinner and thinner. Pure metal rod becomes thicker and thicker. Why? Can you explain? Because from impure metal rod, two constituents separates, metal and impurity. Metal which is separated collects at the cathode, and impurity will settle down near the anode, known as anodic mud. Now, because metal atom start depositing on pure metal rod, it becomes thicker and thicker, and impure metal rod becomes thinner and thinner. This is the process of electrolytic refining. By the process of electrolytic refining, you are able to produce almost 99.99% pure metals can be obtained. Understood? And 100%, as I told you, for that we have to adopt one Arcal method, which is no doubt costlier, but that method ensures 100% purity of metal, and 100% purity of metal is required only during the nuclear fusion reaction. That means in atomic research. In practical life, 100% pure metal is not required. You understood? So this is electrolytic refining of metal that we just now discussed. For electrolytic refining of specific metal, the short note becomes totally different from this. For specific metal, impure metal rod word change, pure metal rod word changes, metallic salt solution, that word also changes. But that's a part of our next lecture, where we will specify only copper, and we will try to purify refined copper to the extent of 99.99% pure. Okay? So in today's lecture, we discussed in lecture number 8 about two things. First, that was electrolytic reduction of metal, means a highly reactive metal from their ore, which is possible only by electrolytic reduction. And then we indulge ourselves in the topic of refining of metal, where as far as the textbook is concerned, we have to remember and understand and discuss only one topic, that is electrolytic refining of metal, which ensures that after the process is over, you will get 99.99% pure metal. You understood this? Okay. So, for today's lecture, thank you very much from Bharat sir.